All right, let's start with the headline. After nearly a decade of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he's finally announced his resignation, that he will be resigning. This marks the end of an era for the Liberal Party. It sets the stage for a significant change in Canadian politics. Trudeau's decision to step down follows months of declining approval ratings. He's been dropping like a bomb in approval, and his economic challenges and mounting pressure, even from within his own party, that have become public. But there's another twist. The Parliament, he's proroguing the Parliament. For those unfamiliar with this, basically it means that he's going to stop all legislative work. And this move gives the Liberal Party some breathing room as they're going to try to establish who their new leader is. It gives them time to figure that out, and it avoids an early non-confidence vote, pushing an earlier election off until the end of March when they resume session, and then they can start that election process. So it's a strategic way for him to actually avoid meeting the scrutiny. All right, let's quickly look at Trudeau's time in power. What do we have from him and the Liberal Party in their almost 10 years as a whole? First of all, we know about his legalizing marijuana. He's done some trade negotiations, managing the pandemic. Now, whether you support that or not is really the question, but undeniably, Canadians feel like we are in a worse position than when he took power almost 10 years ago. Even if there have been advancements in certain areas that have meaningfully helped Canadians, overall, Canadians are feeling poorer than they've ever felt. In fact, the numbers really show that when you see the number of people that are, quite frankly, homeless, living in tent cities across the country, this happening under the Liberal Party's current regime. I don't think that he's been a great leader for Canadians, for our economy, for our international affairs. He's more or less been a debacle for Canada as a whole, creating problems, whether it be overseas like India or the U.S. He has created more issues than I think he's really benefited Canadians. And I think most Canadians feel that in their pocketbook the most. So I'm glad that he's stepping down. Now, with his potential resignation, because he said he's planning on resigning, more than likely he will resign at some point after the leadership race is completed, which of course puts all of Canada in a bind up until that point. Now, my thought is really, what does that do for Canadian real estate? It creates some critical issues for Canadians, right? We already have affordability issues, challenges. And his way of attacking these were things like the home buyers plan and foreign buyer ban, these sorts of items, which really didn't address the underlying issue of supply. They may have limited the number of people that were able to buy or increased some of the ability for certain people to qualify for financing, for mortgages, but it didn't increase more homes. We continue to see an elevated amount of bureaucracy taking forever to get new development built, whether they were multifamily for more rentals to become available, or whether it's single family homes or townhomes or any of these types. They've all taken longer and longer to get to market. And as a result, or they haven't gotten to the market at all. And as a result, has put a serious burden on Canadians because more and more Canadians are fighting for less and less availability. And that's not even talking about his immigration policies and what they've done to the rental market or the job market. Now, one of the challenges of Trudeau stepping down at this point in time is we know that there is a transition of power south of the border, with Trump already talking about new tariffs. Who would be able to negotiate those deals? It won't be Trudeau, because his voice will have no power as the outgoing prime minister. Does that mean that maybe Trump relents and holds off and decides to wait till there's a leader of Canada? Or does he decide to move forward knowing that we do not have competent leadership in place right now? Honestly, from a business standpoint, now would be the best time to push forward, because you've got a weak leader who's now told the world that he is not able to make the proper decisions for the country because he doesn't even have the full support of his own party, much less of Canadians. And that's what we're watching unfold. And that's a scary place for us to be, because we don't have proper representation at such a pivotal moment. So what can we expect? With Trudeau's resignation, it could really signal both risks and opportunities for real estate, because that's really what we want to address. And the new Liberal leader might double down on housing affordability, introducing bold policies, to increase supply or regulate demand. Alternatively, we could see just the continuity with a new leader coming in place with maybe some tweaks here and there, to the existing measures, and trying to assure us that these measures will make a difference for Canadians, addressing the affordability. But for now, I would say that the uncertainty could put real estate markets in sort of a holding pattern as we've continued to watch with the uncertainty. People don't know what the next move is. And we see that most specifically with buying patterns being down. As a result, one thing that we're going to get out of this election is at least some certainty of what the next 4 years will be, and what, for Canadians, will be the key battleground, so to say, in terms of where to buy, what type of assets to buy, and whether you and I can afford real estate in Canada, whether for yourself or as income properties. And from a political standpoint, this is very clear. This is going to benefit the Liberal Party. A new leader with a new voice, it's going to give some sort of hope to the Liberal base. They will hopefully have someone that they can trust in. But for Canadians as a whole, who could you bring into the Liberal Party that doesn't already have the dirt from this existing party? Remember that right now, the Parliament is already had issues and has been blocked for months. Why? Because there are scandals where they're still trying to account for millions and millions of dollars that is believed to have gone to the existing leadership, the existing party members. And so as a result, can we trust any of them? And that is going to be smeared on whoever comes into the new leadership of the Liberal Party. So do they really have a chance? I would say no. But whoever it is, I do think that they've got a better chance than Trudeau of getting more Liberal votes, getting more Canadian votes for the Liberal Party than Trudeau does. And as a result, maybe they hold on to their status as an official party, because right now, all signs point to a complete decimation and a need for a realignment of that party, its policies, and its face towards Canadians. Well, as they say, may you live in exciting times, and we definitely do. This are very concerning times as well. But guys, thank you for watching, as always, and we'll see you again soon on the Four Horsemen of Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Neil D'Souza. See you later.
When the ones around trusting their word, they walk the talk in the world of investment, they make their mark.